worried.
Romine's been playing pretty good. He's batting like 290.
But he's not an everyday catcher.
Right.
That's the problem. When he's not catching, do you know who is? Kyle Higashioka. Kyle Higashioka is batting below the Mendoza line. I think he's batting like 193, 195 in AAA this year. I just personally, I never liked him. I couldn't pronounce his name for the longest time. It's just like a bunch of different things that are wrong with this situation. Now, granted, Romine is an outstanding backup catcher.
Right.
But what if that just is what he is? Like, what if he's just a backup catcher? He's not a starter. He's going to have to start every day, possibly five times out of 7 days for a month. Can you rely on him? Can you honestly rely on Austin Romine as an everyday catcher until Gary Sanchez comes back?
No, I wouldn't think so, but at the same time, what I've seen from this Yankees lineup is that when a couple players that should be doing well, like when Didi and Stanton were struggling, every night or most nights when they won, you would see somebody else that would come up with like the big hit, whether it was the new guys like Torres and Andujar.
It's shades of 98.
Brett Gardner. Well, yeah, exactly. Everyone is contributing every night. Brett Gardner sometimes has some clutch hits, and he's been mediocre this year. Everybody is pulling and contributing. So, yeah, it's nice to have him behind the plate. He definitely has good chemistry with certain pitchers more than Sanchez does.
Do you think that's a language barrier, or do you think that's a myth?
Definitely, and I'm not really sure. Sometimes I feel like Gary Sanchez is like a little bit smarter than he puts like out to be, because he is like really cocky, and like when he hit
Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes he has like the home run he hit the other night against the Mariners to tie the game. When he swung, like he knew like the second it was off the bat, like it was gone, and he just like dropped the bat as soon as he swung.
Everybody does
that. Look at the dugout. And he just was pumping his chest. Like
everybody
really
does that.
I know, but
like, did you see what Stan did against Mike Fiers?
Yeah, he was.
What pisses you off more? I'm going to answer that for you. None of them pissed me off. It was great. Honestly, It was great. Two things. Number one, it was great to tie the game if you're Sanchez. Number two, it's great to get revenge on a guy that basically ended your season.
Right.
In terms of Giancarlo Stanton.
But in terms of that series and looking into this one, I was a little bit concerned at first. I was talking to my friend, and I was like, yeah, we just got swept by the Rays. Like, what's going on?
But are you worried?
No, because he had mentioned that there was a couple of lineup changes, and he felt like the first day or maybe the first 2 games out of the 3 that the Yankees were kind of just resting up a little bit.
Okay.
And depending on certain bullpen decisions they made and whatnot.
Yeah,
and the
bullpen
third
day,
game,
sure.
And the third game that they just lost, and maybe they just underestimated the Rays a little bit. Or
you can't do that, though. I'm sorry. The Rays, even though they are bad, they're chippy. Look, you can't count out an opponent anyway. The worst team is going to win 60 games.
Right.
The worst team is going to win 50, 60, maybe 70 games. No one's going to go 0-62. Nobody's going to go 162-0. It's just not happening. You can't overestimate or underestimate a certain team. You just can't do it. You can't afford to do it. You're going on a playoff run right now. It's all business right here. It really is.
I saw a good stat, actually. I think it was on FS1 after one of the games.
Okay.
It said that the Yankees have the best record against teams that are above 500, and the Red Sox were 14-12, and the Yankees were 21-10.
So
and
realistically,
that's definitely a telltale sign that you shouldn't be as worried about the Yankees as this series may look to be bad.
I'm telling you,
swept.
I'm telling you right now, this series against the Red Sox is going to be very critical. Now, there's something else that I want to touch on, and it's first base. Greg Bird has been pretty bad lately. Now, a lot of Yankee fans are questioning, why is Brandon Drury still in AAA? I actually have something for you.
Okay.
According to a post right here, on June 15th, Drury needs 50 days in the minors to delay his free agency year. 50 days comes on July 3rd. If you're the Yankees, that extra year of control is great if you keep him and great if you try to move him. So, I think the reason why he's in the minors for so long is because they want to have him for an extra year.
Yeah,
am I saying that's right? Absolutely not. Because if you need a fix now movement, you have to do it. Ronald Torreyes is in AAA.
Right.
Now I ask you this. Do you DFA Neil Walker? Do you just not play him? What do you do? There's not really problems, but there are scenarios that you can do. Number one, I'd probably send down a pitcher that I'm probably not going to use. Jason Shreve.
Right.
The second one I would do is bring up Brandon Drury because he can play in multiple positions. You can platoon him. He's getting reps at first base. Let him play first base. Platoon him and Greg Bird because to me, Tyler Austin is not a major leaguer. He's a AAA player. And especially he's not a major league player for the Yankees. He's swinging at bad pitches. He has awful plate discipline. I'm not calling him Chris Carter, but he just has really, really bad plate discipline.
He has a nice swing, though. I definitely see the potential in him.
I see potential, too, but I
just don't know if he's going to shape out to really be like a star. You're like Sanchez.
And that's the thing with prospects. You have no idea what they're going to be. They're just pieces of paper. See, like this. Like, I have a piece of paper right now. Was this a tree at one point? I don't know. It's not going to become a tree now because it's paper. You don't know what Tyler Austin is going to be. You tried to give him enough playing time when Greg Bird was hurt in the beginning of the year. He was serviceable, sure, but it's not enough. It's not enough to me. I want to see results. I want to win games that they have lost. Like, they should have went into Tampa Bay and swept the Rays.
Right.
Obviously, you can't win them all. I would have settled for 2 out of 3. Even 1 out of 3 I would have settled for because the bats were silent.
The last game I feel like kind of hurt. Yeah, they scored 1 run in 2 games.
It was terrible. But what are your thoughts about the series in Philadelphia?
Arrieta's been okay. I think he's like 5-5 with the 350. So, I'm confident with Sevy in there. He's had a little off start last time, but for the most part, he's been pretty consistent. And, I'm really looking forward to the Red Sox series coming up on
You ready for this on Arrieta?
What?
You ready for this on Arrieta? Arrieta has a 6.97 ERA in 4 starts this month.
Wow, okay, so
now is that a knock on Arrieta not being on the Cubs, or is that a knock on the Phillies for not giving him run support?
I don't know. A little bit of both.
It definitely is both. But, obviously, look, they're taking advantage of him. This happens to players. These players go into slumps. There's no such thing as a perfect season. Yeah. There isn't. You're going to go into mini slumps. And also, Arrieta faced the Yankees 8 times in his career, and is 3-1 with a 3.83 ERA. So the runs are up there, but is he the same pitcher? I don't know. You remember what happened with Justin Smoke and David Robertson? He was like 0-4, whatever, against Robertson and hit a walk-off grand slam. It happens. These players change.
Right.
But at every time the Yankees have an interleague series, by default, you have to look at Giancarlo Stanton. By default.
Because he knows this team and the pitchers very well, being in the NL East.
And he was the former National League MVP. He's been in the National League his whole life, with the exception of this year and future years to come. He has seen these pitchers. He has seen Jake Arrieta on the Cubs. He has seen him. Not going to say if he had results or not, but you saw him. You have experience against Jake Arrieta. You have experience against the Phillies in general. You've been in this ballpark. You played the field in this ballpark. Because he has to play. He absolutely has to play. So either Gardner or Hicks is sitting tonight. I have no idea who. I think the Yankee lineup came out earlier. Let me see.
They usually release it around like 4 o'clock.
If I were to bet, I would say that Gardner's sitting. Because you need to have value as a switch hitter, even though Hicks has been on and off. But, never mind. Hold on. It's Hicks, Judge, Gregorius, Stanton, Torres, Bird, and Duhar, Romine. Come on. Where'd you go?
He has Hicks batting
Romine and Severino. Okay.
Why does he have Hicks batting leadoff?
Probably because Hicks is
just because he's a switch hitter? Or
not only because he's a switch hitter. I think he basically knocks up the pitch count. He takes a lot of good at-bats. He just doesn't get good luck most of the time. I don't know. But, this is a series that I think you have to just pin your eyes on Giancarlo Stanton. Because Giancarlo Stanton has been heating up. He went 5 for 5 against Tampa Bay that last game. Giancarlo Stanton got basically a 2 RBI night that helped the Yankees win last night. It's just a series that you need to look out for the reigning National League MVP. So that is it for baseball, and when we come back, we are going to hit on basketball. Don't change that dial because I'm telling you right now it's going to be good here on Beyond the Game, the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, I'm Rob Leonard.
And I'm Tim Leonard.
And
yes, we're brothers.
Join us every Monday at 9 a.m. as we talk sports on From the Press Box.
We'll give you news and opinions about the Yankees,
the Mets,
the Knicks,
the Nets,
the Giants,
the Jets,
the Islanders,
and the Rangers.
And yes, we're a soccer-friendly show. Come on, you Spurs.
So join us every Monday at 9 a.m. for From the Press Box right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, streaming on the iHeartRadio app and podcasting on Spreaker.com.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. But when we introduce a new stimulus, save the food, we're helping to stop food waste. Save the food. For tips and recipes, visit savethefood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Beyond the Game on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Eric Fischetti. Alongside me, I have Joe Ardita. And soon, I promise you, you'll get to hear the lovely voice of Eleanor Ciampi breaking down all the latest and greatest in the NHL. A lot of stuff going on in the NHL, so I'm very, very excited for that. Number to call is 516-572-7440. If you would like to join the conversation, we are live twice a week. Tuesdays at 5 to 6 and Fridays from 3 to 4. Now, Joe, I know that you weren't here after the NBA draft because obviously it was a Friday. Right. So the NBA draft has come and gone, and I know you weren't here to talk about it, but I really wanted to get your thoughts on the Knicks draft. So if you aren't, if you live under a rock, the New York Knicks picked with the 9th overall selection Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson in the second round. I want to get your thoughts on that.
I think a lot of Knicks fans were surprised by the move of taking Knox when you had Michael Porter Jr. for one. I could understand him being injury plagued that you left him on, and the player that I kind of wanted them to get was Mikal Bridges from Villanova.
You wanted Mikal Bridges, okay.
Being that he was a 3-and-D, I felt like the type of player that he is would have perfectly fit what the Knicks needed right now. Now, Kevin Knox was, I think in most people's mock drafts, projected to be a top 10 pick anyway, so it's not I don't think this pick necessarily just came out of the blue, but I was watching it, I was like, wow, Kevin Knox. I really thought they were going to go after Porter Jr. or Bridges, but Knox is definitely going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to him playing in the summer league. And as far as the other guy, Mitchell Robinson, I'm not really sure what to think of him. I haven't heard too much, but I've seen it.
I can tell you about him.
I've seen that the Knicks think he's kind of like a Clint Capella 2.0.
Fizdale thinks that.
Right.
And do you have faith in Fizdale developing players?
I think so. I liked when the list came out of people that they were interviewing, I wanted Fizdale because I like coaches that have a little bit of a flair to them. Like when he had that interview with the Grizzlies, the post game, he was take that for data.
Exactly. That was a playoff game too.
Yeah, I was really boss. I was like, wow, I wish more coaches would do that. I wish Todd Bowles would do something like that after the draft.
Right?
I had a game.
He's great. I wanted to play right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that happened. But I just want to touch on something that you said, not knowing a lot about Mitchell Robinson. Back in 2017, there was a top 100 of prospects going into college coming out of high school. I want to read them to you. I'm going to read all 13 that I have right in front of me.
What, the All-American list, you mean?
No, it's top 100 prospects.
Oh, the prospect, okay.
Number 1 was Marvin Bagley. Number 2 was Michael Porter. Number 3 was DeAndre Ayton. Number 4 was Mohamed Bamba. Number 5 was Wendell Carter. 6 was Trevin Duval, and I see him at Duke all the time, Number 7 was Colin Sexton. 8 was Gary Trent Jr. 9 was Jaren Jackson. 10 was Kevin Knox. 11, Mitchell Robinson. 12, P.J. Washington. And 13, Lonnie Walker. Does this list mean anything to you right now?
No, because we don't really know what these players are. Exactly,
because those are just going off of what you see going into their college tenure. Now, obviously, Kevin Knox was a freshman, but look at where he's coming from. Granted, we did not see a lot of Kevin Knox coming out of Kentucky. We didn't see a lot of Michael Porter Jr. either. We didn't. Right. He played 3 games. And, get this, he had the same back surgery as Steve Kerr and Tiger Woods.
So what does that mean?
It means that he might not be the player that you think he is. I'm going to tell you that right now. Does Tiger Woods look the same?
No.
Steve Kerr got the surgery at 52 years old.
Right.
The kid's 19. He's not. Look, there are what would you call it? Scenarios that he might not play this year for the Denver Nuggets. Now, if you're the Knicks, can you really sign up for that? Can you really sign up?
It's very concerning, and I definitely understood them passing on Porter. Like, as good as a player that people think he is. That's why, like I said, I was really banging on Mikal Bridges. I would have been 100% satisfied with that pick. But that being said, I don't think Kevin Knox was the worst pick in the world. I think picking Michael Porter Jr., as much as people maybe want